We want to know if you can use hypotenuse leg. So we have a few things that we have to use to prove hypotenuse leg. Do you guys remember what those are?
A right angle.
Has to have a right angles that are congruent, which means that they are also what type of triangles? Right triangles. So are these right triangles with right angles being congruent?
Yes.
Yes. So our next two things have to deal with what the name is. HL. What does the H stand for? Hypotenuse. Do we have congruent hypotenuses? Yep. Do we have congruent legs? No. So we would need the leg. We can't use it. No. Need leg. So our next one up was we want to ask those same questions. Are these right triangles? Do we have congruent right angles? Do we have a congruent hypotenuse? Do we have a congruent leg? Yes, by what property? Reflexive. So by reflexive property, we see that these would be it. So yes, use HL. The next one says, Emil and his team are erecting a cell phone tower and supporting guy wires. Explain how you could use HL theorem to show that the guy wires are attached to the ground at equal distances from the base of the tower. So, could we use HL here? Do we know that these are right triangles?
Yeah.
Yes, we know they are based on the fact that these are perpendicular lines. They form right angles. That means they're right triangles, congruent right angles. Do we have a congruent leg? Yep, we have a congruent leg by that same reflexive property. So the last part of this is for us to be able to use this, or for us using this, it'd be that distance of the guy wire on the hypotenuse. So we would have to show that AD is congruent to CD, hypotenuse, for us to be able to use this one. Our objective today is to show that corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent, and then today's lesson is all about cpctc, corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. And so this is just a review of 5.1 where we list out what we know. So we're going to do our core angles and our core sides. So core angles, core sides. So we start with the one congruent mark. We have angle C, which is congruent to which angle? F. We have angle A, which is congruent to angle D. And we have angle B, which is congruent to angle E. And then we do the same thing with the sides. We look for the tick marks. So here we see we have CA, which is congruent to FD. We have AB, which is congruent to DE. And then we have BC, which is congruent to EF.